Hi everybody, welcome to my channel in today's video. So today's video is going to be continuing on the topic of narcissistic abuse and also how we can heal from this using spiritual tactics instead of the limited understanding of the mind that psychology offers. And as someone who studies psychology, I like psychology. I just don't think that it captures the essence of what people need to actually heal and feel fully like themselves. And it can be really difficult to kind of like remember what being you feels like if it's been sort of like missing or like confused for a while. And you may have like glimpses of feelings or thoughts or emotions you had as a child that you haven't really had in years, or you don't remember the last time that you felt an emotion so deeply, or you felt so connected to yourself or to animals or other people, or even just a feeling of joy, the joy of being alive, which is something that this kind of abuse can really kind of make you lose. It makes you lose the joy of being alive. It makes you almost feel suicidal at times because of the nature of the damage that is very deep and can often feel irreparable, although it isn't. So the main thing to remember is that unless we choose to destroy ourselves, unless we choose to throw away pieces of ourselves and sell our souls to and just sell our souls to other people or institutions or whatever, if we don't stay authentic and true to ourselves, then we can further degrade. So that's why this is a really challenging journey, and why the narcissist isn't strong enough to undertake this journey is because it has decided that it has no power. And you can't really talk them out of that, and any kind of attempts to help or have compassion will just be used against you to victimize you. So it's really important to just realize that the only person you can change is yourself, and changing yourself is not going to change the narcissist. So we can kind of just let go of that and just not worry about them anymore. And you'll be able to completely stop thinking about them obsessively or in any way once you do the soul retrieval stuff. So the soul retrieval is really important because during this kind of abuse, it seems so inhumane, it seems so unnecessary, it seems so aggressive, it seems like their intention is to destroy you. Their intention is not to destroy you as much as it is to feed, and they feed off of other people by gaining this sort of like control and power over them, and then just like harvesting like emotional energy. They don't always know what they're doing, but some do, and those ones are, the most evil ones. But they really just see you as prey and something to be like eaten like a snack. So that's why it's sort of like a vampire. That's why it's important to just like stay away from them as much as possible, because they aren't picky about what kind of food they like. They'll eat anything as long as it's juicy, and the juicier and the more compassionate and more loving and hopeful and joyful and faithful it is, the more they want to destroy that so they can steal those emotions from those people. So, it's really important to also take into account that, nothing is ever damaged beyond repair, but if you believe that you're damaged beyond repair like the narcissist does, then you sort of like implode and go in the darker direction, and you kind of just become like a black hole that is just like there's nothing there. So we can let that go and work on healing ourselves, which means that we need to call back different parts of ourselves and reintegrate them. And this can be a difficult process, but it's usually the easiest part of the process. The most difficult part is all the subconscious work we have to do on healing our belief systems, and I'm going to talk more about that later, but it involves entering the theta brainwave, which is the healing brainwave, and then going in and changing all of our subconscious beliefs. And that's something I'll talk about in other videos. But in this video, I really just want to talk about soul retrieval, even if it's not like the first or second step of healing from abuse. It's the last step, but it's the most important step, because this is the part where you become whole again. And that's something that the narcissist has conditioned you to believe, that you can't become whole again, because you've also taken on all of their like emotions and their baggage, and their issues because of all the projection and like the exchange of like energy that happens during this kind of abuse that makes you feel helpless, powerless, tired, fatigued, like you have no energy, like you are just constantly like frustrated and upset and depressed and anxious. That type of like suffering is really mostly just created by this person. But you know, hating them and blaming them can be fun, but it won't help you actually heal yourself. And then once you like heal and, you know, fix the like fragmented parts, you don't actually like want to hate them anyway. You're just kind of like, wow, that's shitty that you feel like you have to destroy other people in order to survive. Like that must be just pathetic. But and then it just kind of, you just kind of see it as like a neutral. It's just like, it's just another person who's just psycho, you know? And you can let go of the fear of finding more people like that and drawing them in once you fully do the soul retrieval. So for me, I'll give you an example. Like, okay, so that actually, before I do that, there's two different soul retrieval things that you have to do. One is that, well, I don't know if I'm gonna talk about first. So one is that pieces of yourself can like choose to just like leave. They're like, I don't want to deal with this and I need to protect myself, so I'm gonna run away. And then those pieces will actually leave and go hide somewhere in the fourth dimension, and then, you know, you can go through the subconscious collective consciousness and enter that dimension, and you can kind of bring them back. And then the other thing that happens is that pieces of your soul can be stolen, which is something that lots of ancient cultures believe all over the world, and something that, you know, it has become a real issue in our society, where there are becoming more and more narcissists because of our, you know, ego-driven, materialistic society. So when someone steals your soul, it sort of feels like, it just feels like your power is being slowly like sucked out of you, but it usually comes after like a really like traumatic event. It's not like someone like glares at you in the store and you feel like a weird vibe and they stole your soul. Like, it doesn't really work that way. It's more like it's prolonged abuse or prolonged like this feeling of like being dominated, and then they can like steal pieces of it. It's kind of hard to explain, and I don't want to make anyone like paranoid, because you know, the important thing to remember is you can always get them back as long as that's your intention. As long as your intention is to always be you and to preserve and protect yourself and to fight for your right to be alive and exist and be who you are truly, then you can always keep retrieving pieces. And even in other lives, you can go back and find pieces from other lives, take them all back. So it really just comes all around to like doing the inner work. The process is simple, but not to say that it's easy. It still takes a lot of work. So the soul stealing thing can happen where the narcissist can steal a piece of your soul or your energy, and then they leave you with a piece of their energy, which makes you feel like, oh my god, maybe I'm the narcissist, but really you're not. It's just like the soul swapping thing that happens. So you can actually, like, once you learn how to do this, you can go in and swap them back, basically. And then after that, you start to feel more like yourself, you start to feel more alive, you start to lose all your weird, like, tics that they gave you, like, you know, having a really short temper, or, like, feeling like a victim, or feeling like everyone's out to get you, or having constant anxiety, depression. All those things will kind of, like, go away, and you realize that was never really, like, your stuff anyway. It's very weird, but it works. So I'll go into more detail on that in other videos. I hope everyone has had a great new year so far, and I'll see you soon. Bye!